We live in a world where the surface measures success by the clinking of coins and the numbers blinking on bank statements. But those who truly understand wealth know that money is never the root cause of poverty or riches. Poverty is never merely the absence of money. It is the absence of a certain consciousness, a way of thinking, a perspective that shapes every choice, every action, every moment of our existence. To be poor is to live trapped beneath the weight of limited awareness, a mindset shackled by fear, doubt, and resignation. The truly wealthy are not simply those who possess gold or assets, but those who have cultivated an unshakable mental empire, a consciousness built on clarity, courage, and relentless self-mastery. The journey to wealth, real wealth, begins within. It starts with awakening to the power of your own attitude, that silent force that colors every experience and defines how you meet the world. Your attitude is the compass by which you navigate life's storms and opportunities alike. Without a positive, disciplined, and growth-driven attitude, you will find yourself adrift, a leaf blown by every whim of circumstance. But when you adopt an attitude forged in the fires of determination, you take control. You command your inner state and refuse to be a victim of external chaos. Attitude is not something you stumble upon. It is something you sculpt, daily, deliberately, like a master craftsman shaping a masterpiece. The rich think differently because they live differently in their minds before they act differently in the world. Communication is the bridge between consciousness and reality. How you speak to yourself and others creates the architecture of your experience. If your words drip with doubt, complaint, and limitation, your world will echo those vibrations back to you. But if your communication is bold, clear, and empowered, it plants seeds of opportunity, builds connections, and ignites momentum. Rich people are fluent in the language of possibility. They know that every word spoken is a brushstroke painting the canvas of their future. The poor, not necessarily by birth but by mindset, speak a language of scarcity, telling themselves stories of defeat, of I can't, and it's impossible. But you must rewrite that dialogue. Speak with conviction, clarity, and vision. Speak not only to the world, but, crucially, to the part of you that decides what your life will become. Self-discipline is the crucible, where promises to oneself are forged and kept. It is the silent champion of success, the uncelebrated architect of every victory. Without self-discipline, dreams remain castles in the air, fading at the first gust of distraction or discomfort. Wealth is not handed out. It is earned through consistent, sometimes grueling effort. Rich consciousness does not wait for motivation, because motivation is fickle. It comes and goes like the tide. Instead, it relies on discipline. The ability to do what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. Self-discipline is waking before the world stirs, choosing hard work over easy pleasure, saying no to the temporary to claim the permanent. The poor fail not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack the discipline to seize and sustain it. Mindset is the fertile soil where your life grows. It is the wellspring of belief, the foundation of your identity. Those trapped in poverty are often prisoners of a fixed mindset, a belief that they are bound by circumstance, incapable of change or growth. The wealthy embrace a growth mindset, a conviction that every failure is a lesson, every obstacle a test of resolve. To change your life, you must first change your mind. This is the essence of consciousness, choosing to believe in your own potential even when the world doubts you. Rich people visualize, affirm, and embody the future they want until it becomes their present reality. Poverty is a self-imposed limitation, a mental cage with invisible bars, and the key to freedom lies in transforming your mindset. Gratitude is the alchemy that transforms what you have into abundance. To the poor, life can feel like a series of losses, a string of disappointments that justify hopelessness. But the rich understand that gratitude is a magnetic force, drawing more blessings into their lives. It is not blind optimism, but a deep appreciation for what is already present. Gratitude rewires your brain to focus on abundance rather than lack, shifting your consciousness from scarcity to sufficiency. When you begin to appreciate what you have, you open the door for more to flow in. This is the secret the poor overlook. They fail to acknowledge the power of grateful awareness, and so they remain stuck in a cycle of need and frustration. Action is the bridge between thought and reality. Wealth is not a dream to be fantasized about, but a creation to be engineered. Ideas, attitudes, and mindset mean nothing if they do not lead to consistent, focused action. The poor wait for the perfect moment, for luck, for some external miracle to deliver them from their plight. The rich create their own moments. They understand that imperfect action is infinitely more powerful than perfect inaction. To shift your consciousness from poverty to prosperity, you must move your body, take risks, learn from mistakes, and keep stepping forward no matter how slow or uncertain the progress. Action births momentum. Momentum births success. Without action, consciousness remains stagnant, dreams remain dormant, and poverty tightens its grip. Persistence is the unyielding heartbeat of transformation. The world does not owe you success. It does not bow to your desires or your dreams. It challenges you, tests you, and often tries to break you. The poor give up too soon. They are quick to quit, slow to learn, and unwilling to endure the necessary struggle. But the rich understand that every setback is a setup for a comeback. They develop a tenacity so fierce it defies failure. Persistence is not just brute force. It is a refined discipline of the soul that keeps you aligned to your purpose through storms and seasons of doubt. To awaken your consciousness is to cultivate an inner strength that refuses to surrender until victory is claimed. Vision is the compass that guides your journey beyond the horizon of the present. Poverty blinds people to possibilities. It narrows their focus to survival alone. The rich see beyond the immediate, they dream bigger, plan longer, and believe deeper. Vision is the act of stretching your consciousness to include what is not yet seen but can be made real. It is a promise to yourself that you will not settle for less than your potential. Vision fuels passion, directs action, and inspires others to join your cause. Without vision, consciousness remains small, confined, and defeated. With vision, you are unstoppable, a force of nature bending reality toward your destiny. Responsibility is the crown of maturity, the mark of a conscious mind. Poor consciousness is one that blames, complains, and shirks accountability. It casts others as villains and life as an unfair opponent. But true wealth is born from owning your life fully, the good, the bad, the choices made, and the consequences borne. Taking responsibility means no longer waiting for rescue or permission. It means standing tall and declaring, "I am the master of my fate, the captain of my soul." This act of conscious ownership empowers you beyond measure. When you claim responsibility, you reclaim your power, and poverty loses its hold. Finally, love and service are the invisible currencies of the truly rich. Money can buy comfort, but it cannot buy connection, purpose, or fulfillment. The richest consciousness is one that understands its power is not for hoarding, but for giving, not for self alone, but for uplifting others. When you serve, you expand your influence, deepen your gratitude, and align with a higher purpose that transcends mere accumulation. Poverty is isolation. Wealth is connection. When your consciousness embraces generosity and compassion, you create a legacy far beyond any balance sheet. Understand this. Poverty is not a financial condition. It is a state of being, a narrowness of the soul, a blindness of the mind. Wealth is not merely material. It is the illumination of consciousness that transforms your reality from the inside out. You are not poor because you lack money. You are poor because you have yet to awaken to the infinite power of your own mind. To become rich is to become awake, to rise above limitation, to choose growth, discipline, action, and love every day. This is the promise you must keep to yourself. The promise of transformation, of breaking chains, and stepping into the radiant life you are always meant to live. Wealth is waiting for those who dare to see beyond the coins and claim the kingdom of their own consciousness. You stand at a crossroads, and the path you choose is defined by the thoughts you allow to live inside your mind. Every belief you harbor is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your consciousness, destined to bear fruit in your experience of life. If you nourish doubt, scarcity, and fear, you will harvest poverty. If you cultivate faith, abundance, and courage, you will reap prosperity. This truth is not vague or mystical. It is as concrete and undeniable as the sun rising each morning. The moment you shift your consciousness, you shift your entire world. You might ask, how do I begin this transformation? Where do I find the strength to change what feels so deeply ingrained? The answer is simple, yet profound. Begin with your daily habits. Your habits are the silent architects of your destiny. They form the scaffolding upon which your consciousness builds your reality. Small acts of discipline, consistent choices to think bigger, to act bolder, to speak clearer, accumulate over time into an unstoppable momentum. Wealth is the compound interest of your daily habits, each one adding up until the world around you must yield to your elevated consciousness. And do not mistake this for some quick fix or overnight miracle. True wealth requires time, patience, and persistence. It is the slow, deliberate cultivation of a rich inner world that eventually bursts forth into external success. You must learn to be comfortable with discomfort, to embrace the grind, and to persist when the world offers nothing but resistance. Every millionaire, every titan of industry, every person you admire for their success has walked this path. Not a path paved with luck, but one carved through resilience and unwavering commitment. Look around you. The world is overflowing with opportunity for those with eyes to see it and minds ready to grasp it. Yet so many choose to remain blind, choosing instead to cling to the familiar patterns of limitation and complaint. Poverty is the easy way out. It is the path of least resistance that leads nowhere. Richness demands you stand up, shake off the chains of old thinking, and walk boldly into the unknown with the full faith that you will create your own future. Your consciousness is a kingdom, and like any kingdom, it must be ruled with wisdom, strength, and clarity. You must become the sovereign of your thoughts, the commander of your actions, the keeper of your promises. There will be moments when doubt tries to usurp your throne, when fear rises like a storm, threatening to drown your vision. In those moments, remember that consciousness is choice. You have the power to choose your response. Will you surrender to the tempest, or will you stand firm, unyielding as the mountain that outlasts the storm? Transformation is not merely about accumulating wealth. It is about becoming a person worthy of wealth. It is about expanding your consciousness until your life reflects the greatness within you. You will begin to see the invisible threads connecting your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your results. You will understand that to change your outer world, you must first change your inner world. The universe responds not to the loudest demands, but to the clearest intentions. When your consciousness aligns with your highest purpose, the world rearranges itself to meet you there. Do not wait for permission or the perfect conditions. The perfect moment is a myth. The perfect time is now. Each day is an opportunity to rewrite the story of your life, to cast off the old beliefs that have kept you small, and to step into a larger, richer consciousness. You are not defined by your past mistakes or the limits others have placed upon you. You are defined by your capacity to awaken, to grow, and to act with courage. Richness is not a destination. It is a way of being, a continual process of becoming more fully who you are meant to be. So rise from the slumber of poverty consciousness and claim your birthright. Know this, every thought you cultivate, every action you take is a vote for the life you desire. Choose wisely, choose boldly. Your future is a mirror reflecting your current consciousness. If you want a future of abundance, greatness, and freedom, then become that person today. There is no other way. The kingdom of wealth lies within you, waiting for the moment you decide to rule it with the power of your mind and the fire of your spirit. Embrace this truth, and poverty will be no more than a distant memory, a shadow you once left behind on the path to your radiant, unstoppable life. Know this, the path to conscious wealth is neither straight nor easy. It twists through valleys of doubt and climbs mountains of trial. But each step taken in awareness brings you closer to mastery over your world. Understand that wealth, true wealth, does not come as a gift handed from the heavens. It is carved from the bedrock of relentless self-improvement. The rich do not settle for yesterday's comfort, but build today for tomorrow's triumph. They invest in themselves, mind, body, and spirit. Knowing these are the true currencies of abundance, you must begin to see every challenge not as a blockade, but as a stepping stone. The poverty mindset screams, "Why me? Why now?" But the conscious mind answers, "Because now is the moment of growth. Because every obstacle contains a lesson." It is this shift in perspective that separates those who remain stagnant from those who soar. Your consciousness is a garden. Neglect it, and weeds of despair take root. Tend to it daily with thoughts of possibility, discipline, and gratitude, and it will blossom with opportunities you never imagined. Recognize that your environment will often reflect the limits of your consciousness. If you surround yourself with scarcity, negativity, and complacency, you feed the poor mindset. But if you choose your associations wisely, People who inspire, challenge, and uplift you. Elevate your consciousness. Wealth is not built in isolation but through connection, collaboration, and shared vision. The rich understand the power of influence and guard their minds like precious jewels, choosing carefully what they allow to enter. Let go of the victim story. The poor consciousness clings to excuses like lifelines, but true power emerges when you take full responsibility for your life. This is not about blame, but about agency, the radical idea that you, and only you, hold the key to your transformation. No external circumstance has the power to define you unless you give it that power. When you reclaim your agency, poverty loses its grip, and the gates to freedom swing open wide. The richest people are those who see opportunity where others see risk, who embrace change as a friend rather than fear it as an enemy. Your consciousness must be fluid, adaptable, hungry for knowledge and growth. Stagnation is the breeding ground of poverty. Progress is the lifeblood of wealth. Commit to lifelong learning, to stretching beyond your comfort zone, to being uncomfortable in the pursuit of greatness. Every new skill mastered, every new insight gained, expands your kingdom. And never forget the power of generosity. True wealth is not measured by what you hold, but by what you give. The more you share your gifts, time, knowledge, resources, the more your consciousness expands. Generosity breaks the chains of fear and scarcity by affirming abundance. When you give freely, you tell the universe you trust in its endless supply. This trust becomes a magnet for more wealth, more joy, more fulfillment. Poverty fears giving because it believes it must cling tightly. Wealth gives because it knows it is endlessly replenished. Remember, wealth is a reflection of your inner world. Change your thoughts, change your feelings, change your actions, and you change your life. The moment you commit to awakening your consciousness, you begin the greatest journey you will ever undertake. It is not a journey of distance, but of depth. A descent into the power and potential that have always lived inside you. This is the promise that calls you forward, to rise from poverty, not by the addition of money alone, but by the transformation of your very being. Stand now, fully awake, fully aware, and boldly claim your future. The kingdom of wealth waits for no one but those who dare to see it, reach for it, and embody it. The time is yours. The power is yours. The life you dream of is yours to create. Let your consciousness be the light that shatters every shadow of lack and fear. For when your mind is rich, your world will follow, and poverty will be nothing more than a story you once told yourself. A past you have left behind in the radiant dawn of your new life. Rise now, not as one who waits for fortune's favor, but as a warrior of your own destiny. The battle for wealth is waged first in the silent chambers of your mind, where every thought is a soldier and every belief a banner carried into the fray. This internal war demands relentless vigilance against complacency, against doubt, against the seductive whisper of enough. Because enough is the enemy of abundance. Enough breeds stagnation, and stagnation breeds poverty. See clearly that wealth is a state of consciousness that embraces discomfort as a teacher, failure as a guide, and perseverance as its anthem. The poor mind shrinks from pain, clings to comfort, and blames circumstance. The wealthy mind leans into struggle, finds strength in hardship, and claims responsibility for every outcome. This is the great divide, not between the gifted and the ungifted, but between those who understand the rules of the inner game and those who remain blind to them. Let your consciousness expand like the horizon, ever stretching, ever deepening. Let it break the chains of limiting beliefs forged in fear and ignorance. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are the creator of your present and architect of your future. Wealth is your birthright, not a gift to be earned, but a truth to be realized. It is the light already within you, waiting only for your awareness to ignite it. Act now with fierce intention. The universe responds to the clarity and courage of decisive action. Hesitation is the ally of poverty. Action is the champion of prosperity. Each step you take in alignment with your higher self, each choice to rise above mediocrity, builds the bridge from where you are to where you must go. Your consciousness fuels this journey. Make it disciplined, make it purposeful, make it unstoppable. Embody gratitude and generosity as your daily rituals, for they are the soil in which abundance grows. Give freely of yourself, knowing that what you sow returns to you 1,000-fold. This is the law of conscious wealth. To receive, you must first give. To hold tightly is to lose. To open your hands is to invite the flow of endless riches. This is your moment of awakening. The poverty that once defined you is dissolving in the light of your new consciousness. The kingdom of wealth is not a distant dream. It is the reality unfolding now, born from your thoughts, your actions, your heart. Claim it, own it, live it. And in doing so, you become more than rich. You become free, powerful, and alive in the fullest sense. Your journey is just beginning, but the map has always been within you. Follow it with courage, with discipline, with faith. For the riches you seek are not out there. They are inside, waiting for you to awaken, to rise, and to rule your own destiny with the wealth of a conscious mind. You must understand this essential truth. Wealth, in its purest form, is a reflection of your inner landscape. It is born from the richness of your thoughts, the depth of your vision, and the integrity of your actions. When your mind expands beyond fear, beyond limitation, and beyond the narrow confines of survival, you open the door to a life overflowing with possibility. Poverty is not a trap set by the world, but a condition self-imposed through the neglect of your consciousness. To break free, you must ignite a revolution within a revolution of thought, of habit, of purpose. Every morning, as the world awakens, so too must you awaken to your potential. Rise with the certainty that today is a new battlefield where you will conquer old doubts and forge new strengths. Wealth is not built on dreams deferred or wishes whispered. It is crafted through the relentless commitment to your highest self. This commitment demands sacrifices, yes, but it rewards with a bounty that no external force can ever diminish. Your mind is a powerful magnet, attracting to you whatever you hold most vividly in your thoughts. If you dwell on lack, your reality mirrors scarcity. If you focus on abundance, your world blooms with opportunity. The choice is yours every second, every breath. This is the sovereign power of consciousness, the ability to choose what you believe, what you feel, and ultimately what you become. In this transformation, you will learn that failure is not your enemy, but your teacher. It is the sharpening stone that hones your resolve, and the furnace that tempers your spirit. Rich consciousness embraces failure as a necessary passage, understanding that every setback carries the seeds of a greater breakthrough. The poor consciousness fears failure and thus remains stagnant, trapped in cycles of self-doubt and missed opportunity. Embrace discipline not as a chain, but as the wings of your freedom. Discipline is the daily act of honoring your vision, even when motivation wanes and distractions call. It is the quiet force that builds empires, molds character, and carves the path to lasting success. Without it, talent and desire dissipate like smoke. With it, even the humblest beginnings can rise to greatness. Remember, your environment is a mirror, reflecting your inner state. To elevate your life, elevate your surroundings. Seek out minds that challenge and inspire you. Feed your soul with knowledge, wisdom, and experiences that expand your consciousness. Guard your time fiercely and spend it with intention. For how you invest your minutes determines the quality of your years. Generosity is the currency of abundance. When you give without hesitation your time, your knowledge, your resources, you signal to the universe that you trust in its infinite supply. This act of giving breaks the chains of scarcity mentality and opens you to receive blessings beyond measure. The more you give, the richer you become, not merely in wealth, but in spirit and fulfillment. This is your call to awaken, to rise above the fog of poverty consciousness and claim the vast kingdom within. The riches you seek are not buried in distant lands or locked behind impenetrable doors. They are encoded in your very being, waiting for your recognition. When you choose to see yourself as the master of your fate, the creator of your destiny, poverty dissolves like mist under the morning sun. So move forward with boldness and clarity. Let your consciousness be the beacon that guides you through uncertainty and challenge. Build daily rituals that honor your growth, nurture your mind, and align your actions with your dreams. Know that the journey is long, but the reward is infinite, a life of true wealth, freedom, and profound purpose. This is not a promise made lightly. It is a truth forged in the lives of every great soul who dared to rise. The poor are not poor for lack of money, but for lack of consciousness. Change your consciousness, change your life, and the riches of the world will follow. Your destiny is waiting. Claim it now, with unwavering resolve and an open heart, and become the architect of your own extraordinary life. Your awakening to this truth is the most powerful act you will ever undertake. It is the moment you decide that poverty will no longer define your story, that limitation will not be the script by which you live. This decision reverberates through every fiber of your being, shaking loose the old beliefs that have kept you small, and inviting a new consciousness to take root, one that is rich with possibility, strength, and relentless purpose. Know that this journey is not about avoiding struggle, but about mastering it. Wealth is not the absence of hardship, but the presence of resilience. Every challenge you face is an invitation to deepen your awareness, to expand your capacity, and to rise higher than you have before. The poor see obstacles as walls. The rich see them as doors waiting to be opened. This shift in consciousness transforms every hardship into a stepping stone toward greatness. You must cultivate an unbreakable belief in your own worthiness. Poverty thrives on self-doubt and unworthiness, whispering that you do not deserve success, happiness, or freedom. But the rich know that their value is inherent, that the right to a fulfilling, abundant life is not earned by chance but claimed by courage. This belief is the foundation upon which all wealth is built, the foundation that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Surround yourself with forces that elevate your consciousness. Books, mentors, environments, and people who challenge you to grow beyond your limits. The poor consciousness isolates. The wealthy consciousness connects, learns, and adapts. Your circle will either drain or amplify your energy. Choose it wisely. The quality of your associations is the soil from which your wealth either flourishes or withers. Practice relentless gratitude, not as a polite habit, but as a radical act of awareness. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present, from scarcity to abundance. It rewires your brain to see opportunity where others see lack, and it opens your heart to receive more. The poor focus on loss. The rich dwell in the joy of enough, and in doing so, attract even greater riches. Take daily actions that align with your vision, no matter how small or imperfect. Consistent, purposeful action is the engine that drives transformation. The poor wait for the perfect moment. The rich create it with every step forward. Each decision to act expands your consciousness and pulls your dreams from the realm of thought into the realm of reality. Finally, understand that your true wealth is measured not by possessions, but by freedom. The freedom to choose, to create, to live fully on your own terms. This freedom is born in consciousness. It is the invisible currency that powers every great achievement and every life well lived. Poverty is the absence of this freedom. Wealth is its abundant presence. Rise now, fully conscious, fully alive, and fully committed to the lifelong journey of growth and mastery. Your poverty is not a prison, but a threshold, a gateway through which only the brave pass. Walk through it with courage, with faith, and with unyielding determination. The kingdom of conscious wealth awaits you on the other side. Claim it, own it, live it, and in doing so, become the richest person you were ever meant to be.